Hello, Cherries, and welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, episode 260. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to target notes playing the blues over 1-4-5 chords. And this is going to be really, really cool. See if I got a little tone here. So let me give you a little example of what I'm going to do here. I got a little loop of just a 1-4-5 progression, simple blues thing in G, and it goes a little like this. Check it out. It's just a G7 chord. To a C7. Back to a G7. So that is the idea right there. And if you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Give you a little round of applause. Jeffrey Boyo. Welcome to the live here. What are you drinking out there today? Got my coffee, getting ready to get all perked up, percolated up. Play some blues. Some simple blues concept. Want to wish you a happy holidays. Hopefully your Christmas is great. New Year's is coming up. Excuse me. We got some basic blues here going on. Excuse me. And it's all going to be based off of the simple G minor pentatonic scale right here. But it's a G7 chord right here, right? So we're going to target certain notes here, and we got Jeffrey Boyle. He's got some cold brew kicking. All right, sounds fantastic. So we're going to be basing this around the G minor pentatonic scale, and there's some really cool stuff I'm going to show. We got the 3 chords here. G7 chord. Let's go ahead and give you the larger view of this right here. Nope, not that one. This one right here. A little larger view. So check this out right here. G7 chord. And all I'm doing is fretting the G, the 7th right here, and then the 3rd right here. Right? Then the C chord, I'm playing the C7 like this. Back to the G again. Now on the C chord, you could hit a C9 chord if you want. Hit that up there. I'm just actually hitting this on the B string, the 2nd fret, or 3rd fret. Hitting a D note. Back to the G7. Then over the 5 chord, the D. Play it like that. And G7. all that fits perfectly underneath this simple G minor pentatonic scale. But when I went to the 4 chord here, I kind of played within this shape right here, this C chord, but it's an A shape right here. Right? It's an A shape. And the reason why it's an A shape, because look, it looks like an A chord, right? Like this A right here. I'm just moving it up. This A. Up to here. So it's really good to get familiarized with these chord shapes, because you could do, once you know the A shape, these licks that you could play within these shapes are, you know, superimposable. You could play them anywhere, transferable. They're patterns that you could play anywhere, whatever key you're in. You just got to play that same shape. So if you want to take this and make it a 7 chord, just make it a 7 chord by dropping the 7 like this. Or look at the top part of this chord right here. You know? It's also a C7 just like this. Right? And just like this is C7. Just over this chord. The 4 chord. Or play it like this. Which just puts you into another shape right here. Puts you into this G shape right here. Which I didn't even play in at all, but you could play in this top part right here. I think I did a lick like this somewhere in there. I played over the C, the 4 chord. I went something like that over here. Something like that, right there. So that's pretty cool. Now all this is pretty much inside. If you could you could superimpose all that. Look into this G minor shape. That's why if you ever see people playing in this box, but they're targeting certain notes, it's because the 4 chord right here looks like it's right inside here. This right here. That's over a C7 chord. And all I'm doing is I'm playing inside this A shape right here. I'm playing the root, walking up to the 3rd. Here's an arpeggio. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. And I could do a little chromatic walk to the 3rd. When it goes to the 4 chord. And then play over the 1 chord. Little lick back into the G minor. Alright, so that's pretty cool. And then when you get to the 5 chord, you have the same thing inside here. Here's like a C shape. Why is it a C shape? Look at that. It's just because I bend it with my fingers. It's more in tune like that, right? Right? So get a C chord like this, but I'm playing a C7. Because look, here's a C chord. One second here. Here's a C chord like this, right? Just slide it up to here to D. And you have your chord, which is tuned for your pleasure. Temperature just went way wacky because the heat is on here in New York, and there's no way to get around it. Everything just went flat. Sorry about that. Get right back to it. Tuning for your pleasure. Usually I stick to harmonics right here too. Volume all the way up. Bridge pickup. Get the best response from the tuna. From the tuna. It's not a tuna. As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. Not a tuna. Alright, so check it out. There we go. Much better. Also, one thing to consider here is a light touch on the frets is always best. Never press down really hard on the neck. Just touch it. Your intonation will be much better. Just touching the note. You know what I mean? Just fret it enough to where it just hits the frets. Right? Okay. So where were we here? We're on the 4 chord. Playing that lick. Or here. And it all looks like it's in the G minor pentatonic box. When I went to the E, there it is, or the C shape, D chord, the 5 chord, you can play licks around there like that. Play the E minor pentatonic. You know what I mean, right there? Play that shape box right there over that. Because look, it fits this chord. But if you're going to land on this note at all, the 3rd, you don't necessarily want to play the minor note right there. You want to bend it up. You know? So that you have, because it's a major chord there. It's this dominant chord. The E. I mean the D chord. Into the C. So if you're digging this so far, hit that like button. Hopefully having a good time. Playing some music, drinking some cold brew, some regular coffee. Got my shirt on today, get ready for some football. Guess what team I like? I usually don't show my support from my football team when I'm doing my guitar tutorials, but you know what? If we win today, we're in the playoffs, really, so why not? I didn't want to get any Browns haters in here. Okay, so back to here. Now, we're working on this G minor pentatonic scale. We're on the 5 chord. So right here under my fingertips, I have, here's the octave, right? Play the minor pentatonic right there. But here's the thing again. There's the 5th degree, 3rd degree, root. Take that 3rd and bend it up. You don't want to go too much with the major. You know, because that's a little too happy sounding. You know? It's a little too happy. You want to make it a little bit greasier, right? So you want to take that pentatonic and go. So you're taking the note, the minor note, here's the major note, and you're playing somewhere in between, like a semitone right there. Closer to bending it up to the pitch, because that's what it's a 3rd degree. So I think the closer you get it to that major note, but usually it goes by so fast that it's really not as important. I mean, if you're landing on it, like if I was landing on the G major, you know, I'd want to be perfect on it. Okay, vibrato. But on a passing note, you know, you could kind of just get away with. You know. And there's the 5. You know, and what's cool about this turnaround right here, when you're on the 5 chord, once you bend that micro bend, you keep going to the G. There's your 1 chord. The G. All right, excuse me. So any questions about this stuff, let me know. We're playing the blues, simple 1-4-5 blues progression here, all around the blues shape, which really is like a. You could add one more note in there too, and give it a the minor blues scale, because we played the G pentatonic like a. But if you add this note, that's really cool. That's the flat 5 note right there. Because here's the root. Right, here's the root note. Here's the 5th. Root 5th. Flat 5. Flat 5 there. So you have root, minor 3rd, 4th, and flat 5 right there. 5th. It's cool. You can bend the flat 5 to the 5th. Right there. Right? And then an octave down there. That's pretty cool. That flat 5 is really good right there. And so yeah, everything's based around that. And you know, going to the 4 chord right there. Look, you're still seeing notes. There's a C chord, but all these notes right here, look, are kind of right inside this shape of this G that we're basing it around. You know, like that's even in the minor pentatonic. The C. Of course, then you have to play that right there. But that C right there, you play the blues note. So you're gonna wind up playing like a scale that's more like this right here. You know, it's very symmetrical. The G, you have 3 strings like this. From the C, from the B flat, A, G, and from the F, E, D, D flat, C, B flat. So it's really just three strings, the same shape. Very, very common, you know, place to play. You know. You know. It's all based around when you get to the C, you have all this right here. The root, the 3rd, the 5th, major 6, 7th, flat 7. Back to G. You can even play the 5 chord here. You know. It's all based around these chord shapes. This an E chord shape. So first of all, this first shape is the G. It's an E shape. Why is it an E? Because look, it looks like an E chord. We take this, move it all the way up to G. So it's an E shape chord, but it's a G chord. Just make it a 7 chord. So it's really cool because it's really like a foundation here of these shapes, 5 shapes caged. C.A.G.E.D. It's an acronym. So you have like an E shape right here. You know. All right, but you're moving it up to G. Over to G. So much for guitar tuners. So yeah, here's an E, a G chord, but with an E shape. All right, which is based around the pentatonic shape 1 that we all know and love. It fits right underneath there. Right there, perfectly. And all of your licks that you know around this is right there. Bending up to the root. Now, the most important thing here is getting your bends to be perfectly in tune. Trying to get to this G note right here, right? So you take the 7th degree, bend right up to it. So if you were playing like a progression like this, here, let's bend it right up to it. To the C, let's bend it to the C. Bending to the D. C. So it's really important to work on the bends and get it right up there, right in tune, or whatever note you're bending to. If it's the 3rd, give it some nice vibrato, which is another point. Vibrato, it's not enough just to get to the bend. Once you get there to the pitch, give it a little shake right there. And a good trick to doing bends is you don't have to use your fingers as much right there. You could take your fingers, lock it into the note you want to bend, and then just use your wrist. Seem to get more control that way if you take your wrist and just grab the note and then just turn it up, like your wrist is bending the note up. You have more control rather than using your fingers to weave inside the. Take your finger, grab it onto it, and then once you're up there, use your wrist to vibrato it, like this. you really kind of play with it. So, hopefully you're enjoying that. Hopefully you got that. Any questions about this stuff, let me know. Having a good time here playing some blues. Yeah. Making it important here. Picking out some important things here that you need to do. Like bending, vibrato. Okay, so, all right, let's check this out now. So, you know, a lot of times you could do these chromatic lines right into the 4 chord. Like when you're playing with a 1. When you know that the 4 chord's coming up, you want to target certain notes. You could target the root note. You could target the 3rd. You could target the 5th. You could target the 7th. The root up here. And one of the cases I targeted the 3rd. So I did a little riff going, and I landed on the 3rd degree of the 4 chord right on the downbeat. So wherever I was, boom, boom, boom. When it goes boom, I went right over on the downbeat of the 4 chord. So I'm always thinking, okay, well, the chord that's coming up, I have to resolve onto one of those chord tones, right? Or try. So I'm thinking, okay, so you're going to the C. I know I'm over here. And eventually I'm going to have to get back to the 1. So I could play around in here a little bit with anything I want right there, really. As long as I'm kind of playing around this C shape. You know, and I'm really inside of this minor box, this G minor pentatonic box right now. So I'm playing the 3rd of C, the 5th, 6th. Here's a famous, really cool lick you can do. Bending up to the 7th degree. It's just a half step bend. Once again, take your finger, lock it on there, use your wrist. Have more control. Then it goes back to the 1. Look, I'm right there, over the G. So we get the C. Back to the G. So pretty cool idea. I mean, you could even go to any of the notes. You don't have to go to. You can go right from the G right to the root note. Even to the note there. Check it out. Here's the C coming up. Oops. Right? Very cool. So that is that. Going into the 4 chord. Lots of different ways you can go into the 4 chord right there. And another cool way to look at this is, you know, when you get to that shape, look at different parts of this chord right here. You have this 7th right here. But you also have this triad up here. The root, the 3rd, the 5th. Make it flat in the 7th. you could see. You have all those licks right there. Playing a C7. Wants to go really nicely. Back to the 1. Back to the G right there. And also, when you see that, here's the 7th chord right there. You go into a different shape, you also go into this C chord. Right there, right? Into this chord. Because you have this, then you could play off the 3rd over here. The 3rd, 4th, flat 5, 6, or 5th right there. 2nd, sorry, 2nd, 4th. You have the, the 3rd, 4th, 5th. That's kind of hard. Right there, over this position. Back to the 1. Then we get to the 5 chord. Same thing up here. One thing you could do off the 5 chord here, you can do it off any one of these chords really, is I'm going to start on the 5th degree. So that's the 5th degree right here. For the D. Same thing on the C. I just played a sharp 9. I mean a flat 9 there. Leads nicely. I think if I was to play this scale over the D. It's a nice altered scale. Oops. No, be like that. Altered. Lots you could do off the 5 chord. Look, it's all right in that one shape right there. So I'm trying to keep it all in one simple area right here. We could play all in this box, in the G minor box. So it's about, you know, breaking out of the box, so to speak, right? Or staying in the box, but having a good time in there. You know, instead of playing just the 5 notes, you can really kind of shake it up and play lots of stuff, you know, right inside there. Because you're right there, you know, with a 4 chord. You're still right there in that box. Over the C. Bending up to the 3rd. It's kind of like this. Here's over the 4 chord, or 5 chord. Because right there, you have a pretty cool shape right there too, coming off of the 5 chord. Here's the chord. It's the root. It's the 5th degree. It's the 5 chord. You have the. But if you want to play the minor pentatonic scale, oops. I'd bend it up a little bit. Over the C. You know, like if you were to play something like this, you don't want to. Here's the 3rd. The C chord. G. That wasn't too good. To the 7th. All right. Very, very cool. Any questions, let me know. Hopefully having a good time here. Playing some blues on a Sunday. Where else would you rather be? Here. So, very, very simple thing here. And, you know, the last 5 weeks I've been kind of put together a series of stuff playing 1-4-5 progressions all over the neck in 5 different positions, you know. Playing it here, chord here, and the 5 chord. Then I'll do it here, the G chord here, and here, and here, then up here, then here, and here, then back up to the top, up here. Which is the same as that. I'll give you a little better look right here. You know, I did the 1-4-5 here. And 1-4-5 here. 1, 5, 1. Then 1, 4, 5, 1. Then 1, 4, 5, 1. Then back to the top here. 1, 4, 5, 1. Which is the same thing as this. You know, 1 chord, 4, 5, 1. So the whole idea behind this is to do this and familiarize yourself with certain licks in each position going up the neck, so you could break out of the box here and do the same thing up in different shapes around the neck. So when you see this on 1 chord here like this, you know you have your pentatonic box. So you can play your licks around there, around the E shape, and hits the C chord. We did what we've been doing, playing around the 7th chord, C, the 3rd. Back to the G chord. Over the 5 chord. Back to the C. Right there, you know? Stuff like that. So that is the idea right there. Hello. What's happening? Michael Morello. Give you a round of applause. Excuse me. This is great stuff. I jumped in late, so a few minutes behind live at the moment, but I'm loving it. All right, that's great. Well, this will be on here forever, so you can always go back to the top and pick some of this up here, whatever you missed. And but thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Thank you for that. Going over some simple blues here, and you know, the idea also is to, you know, take it out of that shape, out of the out of these chord shapes. You could take it over to here, this G. You know, played here, it'll be like this though. You know, G7. So the idea is to kind of take these chord shapes and make 7th chords out of them. So the 4 chord will be like this. You know, here's the C like this. One chord, 4 chord. One. The 5 chord. 4 chord. 1 chord, 5 chord. It's kind of hard to get that in there. But it's right there. So right there, now you're playing in a whole new shape right here, which you weren't playing in before. It's really cool because it's the next shape up. It's this, you know, it's this D shape right here. Look, it's a D, because look, it looks like a D chord right here. Here's a D. You move it all the way up here. Now it's a G. Same shape. This is your thumb. I'm not giving you the bird right here. This is your thumb hanging over. Like if I was playing a D here, the thumb hanging over there. It's the same thing going up here. But you're playing here with this finger. With the 7th chord. Like that. Then you have certain licks up here you can play. That's my favorite one right there. There it is. You know? Over there, this G. Right there. So now you have this G. Here's the 4 chord now. Over this shape. Now you have the 5 chord right here. 4 chord. You know? Right there. Right back to here. Just want to see the minor pentatonic inside there, I suppose, right there. You know? There it is right there. It's the pentatonic shape. Or it might be the second shape of the minor pentatonic. You know? Over the 4th, then you go. And then the idea, then take it up to here. And then working some licks going up the different positions throughout the neck, which is pretty darn cool right there. Which we kind of just breezed over real quick, but I think it's fun. Fun stuff right here. All right. Thanks for popping in, hanging out. Yeah. Where else would you rather be than playing some blues here on a Sunday? Right there, right? So, really cool stuff here. And, you know, usually I have graphs and stuff and backing tracks. But for this one, I kind of just popped in and I don't have any yet. But I usually make another video off of this. I'll edit it down into a shorter video, cut out some of the fat in here, and then I'll put some graphs up. So, you know, if you want some graphs, when you see that video, you can just email me at info@JerryCherry and I'll shoot those over to you. So, cool. The 7th inversion. Yeah, some cool stuff with the playing the sevenths right there. And it's really cool to be able to just, change all these into seventh chords. Like if you're playing these shapes right here. Here's a G chord. Third on the bottom. Easily make it a seventh by taking the root. So you got that. Now it's a G7. He goes to the 4 chord here. Check it out. Make it a 7th chord. Here's just a G shape, C chord. Why is it a G shape? Because look, here's a G chord like this, right? If I move this all the way up to here, played it, Now here's the G shape, but it's a C chord. I can make it a 7th chord. Or even take it up to here. That's more practical up here. Back to the G. G7. And then over the 5 chord, and here it is right here. See? It's an A shape. But I'm making a 7 chord. 4 chord. Pretty cool. Never thought of moving the thumb over the neck, up the neck. Never thought of moving the thumb over the neck, up the neck. Yeah, it's pretty cool. To just, that's just part of that particular shape, and you could do that anywhere, really. But if you're playing that shape of any chord, if it's the 1 chord, right there like that. It's this. You've played this shape a million times, right? Like a power chord. In metal, we'd play that like that all the time. You play this like this E. Here you go. Or Motley Crue. You play this a lot. So it's a G like this. So now you're just playing the G like this. Playing a wimpier version, right? Cleaner version. And a PG version of it. So over the whole thing, if I did a C like that, move it all the way up to C. Here's the C. Look, here's the 3rd on the bottom. So these D shapes, they just revolve all over the neck. Same thing up here, C. There's a D. Same thing as this. So if I played a 1, 4, 5 this way. Same thing like that. If I played 7th chord, it's harder. You almost want to just play the top parts. Maybe play it like this. Kind of hard to get that, but you need to practice it. I need to practice it. you can play all your licks in that position too if you wanted to, like this. Just like you play a 1-4-5 like this. And you play like licks that are in minor pentatonic positions. Just like you shift that, you can do the same thing with this. So any questions about this stuff, let me know. Having a good time here today. All right, we got a couple more minutes. We're going to wrap it up. Actually, let me just mention here that I do have a guitar course. It's called the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. We go over 4 important topics. Fretboard memorization. And there's 2 videos on each topic here. Easy ways to learn the whole fretboard, each note, and it's so valuable. Then we go into the circle of fifths, where we do chord progressions, and within this circle, it looks like a pizza, so don't eat it. Or a steering wheel. So silly. And but within that circle lies all of music, and it kind of gives you a visualization of how the chords all relate to each other. Blues soloing, just like we're doing now. There's backing tracks, PDFs, chord progressions, and we talk about the most important elements of blues soloing, which is playing the blues. You're emoting emotions in there, right? And then we go over the C.A.G.E.D system, which is very similar to what we're doing right now, but in a 2-5-1 context. So check that out, the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. There's a link in the description for that, so I would appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. And let's see, Michael, thank you for the great questions here. I've been trying to lock down on C.A.G.E.D and the pentatonic shapes related to each shape. This is great stuff. Yeah, this is like a course already. Yeah, for sure. You know, and if you look back at my last 5 videos, I really break down playing a 1-4-5 over the whole thing, and then I break down how to play the arpeggios within the 1-4-5 progression all over the fretboard, and then I do the major pentatonic up and down the fretboard, and then the last one I did the major scale up and down the fretboard. So really, really useful. Check back on those. And it all leads up to doing what we're doing pretty much today, which is taking these same C.A.G.E.D shapes like this, right? This E-shaped C.A.G.E.D. And then go to the 4 chord, an A shape, C chord. So really it's a G to a C to a D, back to a G. But the shapes are transferable everywhere. So it's like an E shape, here's like an A shape, and here's like a D. It's a C shape. It looks like a C chord, right? You know, it's like a C. I'm making it put a 7th on there. And then looking at, now based on these chord shapes, you can see all the target notes. Every one that I'm fretting is a target note. The root, the 5th, the root again, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th. Look, all this note, they just fall right into each other. Watch this. Bam. All the notes. The root, the 5th, the third. That's all the notes you really need to hit. Like if I played a blues progression, without even moving, I could play a solo, like a, you know. Altered. Minor pentatonic over there. Back to the major. C. So really just following those chord shapes and having a good time doing it, you know? So yes, that's cool to have both options. The thumb over the top is an easy grip. Both are cool. Very cool. Thank you for that. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching. You know, really, really cool. I just wanted to ask you a question you could tell me right now. And that question is, how do you target notes in a blues progression? You know, I was just showing you how I do it. You know, I'm following the chord tones here of the C.A.G.E.D shapes and the pentatonic, the blend of the two. But how do you do it? Let me know. And love to know that. It's very cool. And let's see here. Everything's cool. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are just the best. Thank you, Michael, for popping in. Nice to meet you. And thank you there, Jeffrey Boyle, popping in. Very, very kind of you. And everybody who's watching in the future. So if you want to see another video, well, first of all, remember, guys, be cool, be kind, be cherry. And if you want to see another video where I target notes playing a blues over a 1-4-5 chord progression, actually, is that what I do? That's not the video I wanted to show here. I don't know what happened. I didn't copy that in there. It's live. What do you want? Nothing's perfect. But, you know, I almost forgot to say, happy holidays to you. Hopefully your Christmas was great. Hanukkah, all your holidays, whatever you celebrate. And have a very safe and peaceful New Year's Eve. Don't get into too much trouble. And we're going to start into a new year. Get that guitar out of the case. Keep it close by you so you're always playing it. Never too far away. Keep them warm. Keep those guitars warm. All right? And so cool. So thank you. Be cool. Be kind. Be cherry. And if you want to see another video where it's 5 steps to becoming a better blues guitar player, I'll put that right up there. So I'll see you next one. In the next one. Peace, y'all. Ciao.